It's a lovely morning and a warm welcome to the program. Kunle Abiyo is my name. Agriculture is a critical sector in Nigeria, contributing about 25% of GDP and employing over 70% of the labor force. However, food security remains a major challenge due to factors such as climate change, insecurity, poor infrastructure, and economic instability. According to the Global Hunger Index 2023, Nigeria ranks 109 out of 125 countries, highlighting severe food insecurity. An estimated 25 million Nigerians are at risk of hunger due to conflicts, inflation, and climate-related disruptions. On the program this morning, we will examine the role of agriculture in Nigeria's economy, challenges of food security, and also strategies for improving agricultural productivity. My guest is already here. We'll take a break now. When we come back, with the ground on the place. Please stay with us. It's a pleasure to have you back here. This morning, taking a look at agriculture and food security. My guest will do just to I have Mr. Oludare Idowu, a farmer. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
I actually brought you out of your farm today.
It's a pleasure.
Let's take a look at food security. What would you say agriculture is also adding to Nigeria's economy?
Well, like you have rightly said, first and foremost, I think I have to make a little correction here. I don't like to be addressed Mr. I prefer farmer, because that's what we have been doing all our lives. Yeah, agriculture had contributed to the economy of Nigeria, not just now. It has been a long time thing, even before the discovery of the oil well. So, and it has actually impacted the entire country in a way that, in a positive way that it's amazing. And like you rightly mentioned, because I was listening to it, when we were doing some statistics, we discovered that only less than 25% of Nigerian population are government worker at federal level, at all levels. And you discover that the other ones are about 15% are just businessmen and what have you, but more than 70% are farmers, and that is what is actually contributing to the economy of Nigeria in a great deal. So when we are talking precisely about how agriculture is contributing to the economy of the country, you can discover in all phases that there is no aspect that agriculture is not actually impressing so much on. Talk about whatsoever, you discover that agriculture is leading. Unlike just last year, from the Export Promotion Council, we discovered that over 250 billion naira was made into this country via backdoor.
How do you mean backdoor?
Good. I meant it wasn't actually going through, it wasn't coming through maybe CAC registered company, but people who are just doing their, minding their business, selling onion, exporting onions alone. The same thing, ditto, when it comes to cocoa, when it comes to oil palm, when it comes to groundnuts, when it comes to sesame seeds, and many other agricultural products that is adding value into the economy of this of Nigeria as a whole. So as it is, we cannot overemphasize the fact that after the oil, we are still coming back to agriculture, and we cannot overemphasize it. That's just the truth. That is just the truth.
Despite all of these that you have also said in Nigeria, and also referring to what you have just said, now 70% of Nigerians are farmers.
Yes, even more.
Now that we also have just about 5% of farmers in America and also able to feed the Americans. Why is it so difficult here that the 70% that are also into agriculture cannot feed Nigerians?
Well, I think the why for that question is not far-fetched. The why is simply because of insecurity. One. Then the second one is the government approach the government body language to agriculture, since we have been able to discover oil, the body language to agriculture, we discovered that starting from the budgetary allocations for federal budgetary allocation for agriculture, you discover is nothing to write home about. You see what the budget, those that the budget is actually servicing are those people who are in the House of Rep and Senate and all that. Even health is not given any serious attention, let alone talking about agriculture. So I think this is why we have major problem in agricultural sector or space as it is now in Nigeria. And if nothing, if it is not properly addressed, we may continue like this for several decades, and there will be no solution to it. So that is one aspect. The other aspect that I want to talk about is the aspect of insecurity. About 3 days ago, I was just thinking within my heart while on the farmland, are we bewitched? Is there any hypnotism, especially on our leaders, on our KBC and Obas, on chiefs? Nobody is talking about this thing. And those people who are causing the insecurity, they are not honestly biased about it. They are not sentiment about it. They made it known to everybody. This is what we needed, and we are doing nothing. From the federal government, nothing. From the state government, little or nothing. From the local government, zero.
Well, let's look at this because I know we also come to this when we talk about how to actually resolve this crisis. Because I know there's a huge crisis. If you can produce and you cannot feed the nation, it's a big one. But let's look at the statistics. Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava, yam, sorghum in the world. We also produce about 60 million metric tons of grains annually. Despite all of that, we import over $10 billion worth of food annually. So why do we have this kind of disparity in what we produce and what we also import?
Yes, I just mentioned something to you on just one singular commodity, and that is onion alone. Majority of those exportable products that we have in Nigeria, like you mentioned, graded cocoas and all that, there are more than 65-70% of ungraded cocoa leave this country, and the money cannot be added to the GDP of the entire country. And why you see it's going to the hand of little few, and exportation is inevitable. I mean, importation is inevitable, becomes inevitable. So I think the why is simply because many people don't really believe in the system of the government any longer. Look at tax on agriculture that was imposed sometimes. Look at many other factors that is affecting. There's no market. So many people are just struggling themselves to actually get market from other countries and all like that, using other means. So with this, you discover the effect is still coming back.
So why do we need to export? Why we cannot get the food on the tables of Nigerians here? But that's also the issue that if you also claim to be the highest producer of cassava, highest producer of yam, also know in Benue is the highest producer of yam in the world. So they also have their own challenge of insecurity. But why do we also emphasize on exportation rather than ensuring that people at home eat first?
Let me come down with you as a real farmer, and let us not make this look like too much educative. Let me just give you a simple example on what I know best, which is onion commodity. From Nigeria to Niger, exporting onion from Nigeria to Niger, Cameroon, and every other neighboring countries. From the point of movement of the vehicle to where they are going to drop the commodity, no policeman is disturbing. From the beginning to the ending of that journey, they pay from the point of moving, and by the time they are at the point of delivery, no disturbance. But it's in our case in Nigeria, it's not like that. From Zaria or Kaduna to my 12 alone or Ibadan here, they would have encountered more than police points, checkpoints, more than close to 200, if not more. And at each point they are dropping. So that is one. Two.
Well, should that now be a reason why we should also export what should be hitting here?
I'm still trying to make a point out.
Okay.
Two, like myself, from where I have my farm at Ocean. Ordinary driving a bike, policemen believe that, I'm sorry that I just have to mention them because our security apparatus, they are contributing to a lot of problems.
Please go ahead.
Yes. So you discovered at each point they tax those guys who are holding their things out with bike. If I have said I'm going to write a letter to the Commissioner of Police in that respect, but that as it may, all this contributes to the fact that everybody is looking for way. That is one. I mean, that is true. The other one is the fact that whatever they are selling outside of Nigeria, people are making money in dollars, not in naira. And everybody will like the same commodity you are going to sell for 500 naira here, you are going to sell it in about $20-40 over there. You prefer to move your things than to allow us here to consume. So all these are factors the factors that is actually contributing to people want to move their things out than to allow it to remain here. And that is why the federal government, when they are looking, what do? They have to import. Whilst from here we are doing a lot and we are exporting it. But the truth is, the effect of the exportation is not coming to the government because everybody, I mentioned backdoor the other time. So it goes to the hand of few who knows the way. So I think that is what actually brings about importing. We have much, but the much is not actually staying within Nigerian premise corridor.
So why should we not stay in Nigerian land?
I've explained to us, it will not stay because people want money in foreign currency, and the exchange rate is better compared to what we have as naira.
So to farmers now, they also prefer that we continue to export what we produce here.
Everybody wants that, plus including myself. Yeah, everybody wants that, plus including me.
That's also a problem. So how do we address this?
We address it should Nigerian naira appreciate. Why would I want to go and sell and engaging myself in stress when I know that the equivalent of what I want to sell out with my stress is what I can sell here?
Well, I do not also consider that there are some of these products that are also perishable. That before you take them abroad, they might have also rotten away.
It is not too true. As a matter of fact, as we speak, even green vegetables are being exported. So let's not just sit down somewhere and begin to be self-deluded. A lot of things are changing agriculture space in technology. They are moving greens in planes. A lot of things are happening. They are moving perishable goods with refrigerated system, cooling system, and they are moving them. So what you want to sell there, it appreciates in naira, in value of currency than what we have here. So until all those ones are being adjusted, being corrected, exportation will continue like that.
So to you now, it is not only about insecurity that is also affecting this. It's not only about even climate change and also affecting this, but that the farmers too, they want to make good money from what they produce.
I think I want to differ at this point a little. When people talk about climate change is not still really affecting us agriculturally that much in Nigeria. But I just think it's just a coin system for some people to just make some money.
Are you sure?
So yes. So if there is any challenge we have here in Nigeria that is affecting our agricultural sector, for those who are real farmers like myself, it is insecurity. The insecurity of our headers. And I think we are trying to change this narrative that farmers headers. There's nothing like farmers headers. It is headers aggressiveness on their host environment. Their aggressiveness. They've been given one kind of psychology that is quite different from normal thinking of human being, like as if they own everywhere. So anywhere you enter, it's yours. So whosoever talks to them, we are ready. I have about 29 hectares of land I have to leave. I left it since 2021. I have my hives, I have my bee hives, I have my cocoa, I have my oil palm there, little ones. And I have to abandon the farm since 2021.
As a practical person,
yes,
it's also on the farm.
Yes.
I don't think government can address this because it's a major issue.
Governments are not, as far as I'm concerned, as much as I like to be modest in my way of speaking, I notice governments are just, with all humility, honestly with all humility, but this is our life. Our life is at stake. Governments are just paying lip service to this.
What about individuals? What about the communities? What can the communities as well do?
Should community do more than necessary, it is time taking laws into their hands. Should individual do the same, it is time taking laws into their hands. A particular issue happens about a month ago where a farmer was being attacked. And in the attack, the farmer was so strong that he was able to take the knife away from the hand of the header. And he was able to stab the header. And the header eventually died. And by the time it was taken to court, the judge was saying it was all over the places. If I was beaten, the farmers are silent, the kings, the KBC, and everybody were just silent about it. They had to sentence this guy.
But I was a dissenting judgment about that.
Well, maybe I have not gotten wind of that anyway.
Okay. Well, the judge also said that it's also right for him to have also defended himself. So let's take a look at the way forward. What should we do? Where we also import Nigeria imports about $5 billion worth of wheat, rice, and fish annually. Why we can also produce here? Even when, according to what we produce here, we export, and at the same time we also import. Why do we have this kind of situation?
The situation can be handled should Nigerian currency gather strength. With this falling in naira and all that, I think we go nowhere. That's just the truth. Go online, TikTok, everywhere, Facebook and all that, you see many people who are encouraging even more exportation. And everybody wants to sell to add value to whatever they do. So, and we cannot sit down here just talking about naira devaluation and you have your goods is perishing and somebody is taking it for free. So you will have to look for a way to add value, make it more, you add additional value to it and you export it. So there's nothing we can do about it until Nigerian money, our naira exchange rate is better to favor the farmers because farming is more expensive now, more expensive. All the inputs are extremely expensive because they are not made in Nigeria. Even knapsack, simple knapsack, is not made in Nigeria. All made in China, made in Kiniko, like that. So it's contributed immensely to the fact that everybody also wants to earn in other currencies that are better than Nigerian currencies.
So should we continue to be hungry while you also export what we produce here?
Which is why we at our level in Ondo State Farmers Association, we're trying to advocate for urban agriculture. Let everybody lay their hands on some things. I have friends in Kaduna, I have in Zaria, I have in Sokoto who speaks with me because we exchange, we know what is happening within the space of agriculture in the north and in the southwest. One called me just day before yesterday night and was saying, Oga, go and plant more onion price when they go up. The other guy told me January that ID, go and plant Rodo, after Rodo, we call it Efia or Habanero. That between May and July, a solo bag of Rodo will hit 100,000. We are just in May, we are in April presently. It has gotten to 100,000 and it's more now.
Why is it going up?
Because no production insecurity. People who plant Rodo in the north, major part where they do that is in Benue axis. But at least you can know what is happening there just of recent. I was telling some people, should they give some people 10 million naira, go back to your farm. They will not go there. Why? Because right in their presence they kill their husbands. Right in their presence their wives and their children were beheaded. And that psychological effect resides in their hearts. And even with all the aggregation of money given to them, they will tell you they can't farm any longer. And this is part of where, let me tell you us, either we like it or not, this is mass media. There is war in the country already.
How do you mean war?
God bless you. Anything that attacks our feeding, anything that attacks the sustainability of human existence in any country, it's a war. We have different war. War is not only when we carry gun. And for your information, we have the combination to worsen the whole thing. We have the combination because it's obviously obvious that people who does this, who create problem for Nigerian farmers, they come with guns, sophisticated guns, even that the security apparatus cannot withstand. So there is war in food production, and there is war in displaying even the farmers from where they farm. So we are just trying to manage what is not manageable. And I don't know how long we are going to continue with this.
Don't you think the solution to this will also have mechanized farming, where we also reduce the number of people that are on the farm to avoid this insecurity?
Mr. Rio, mechanized is a system of farming that we have done several times and we are still doing it. With your mechanization, you are very good, you planted about 10 hectares. Okay, let me give you a good example. I supervised 17 hectares of beans last year between August and November. Do you know Fulani? Sorry that I mentioned their ethnic whatever, but either we like it or not, they are those ones. Ate it all up. 17 hectares of beans, such as never been planted in southwest Nigeria before. It was done in this Ondo state. So tell me we have not done mechanized. We have. So the issue is not the issue of mechanization. Even if you like plant on the air, they are ready to destroy it completely. And they are destroying the economy you are talking about is what they are destroying. Because many people invested their money into it. Many people invested their life hand into it. Many people invested their time. Many people invested all that they had.
Could that also be a reason why we also have 70 million hectares of arable land in Nigeria, but just 34 million of that land is being used by farmers?
Well, analytically, that is what they said. But presently, it is even less than that.
34 million?
Benny, it is less than that. Who goes to farm again? Part of the acreage you mentioned, mines are there. We have many other people, farmers whose their acreage of lands are there. They are vacated now presently, as we see. Even in Ondo State here, which is why from my farm axis, about a month ago or 2 months ago, they kept bringing corpses of people to the governor's office. Up till now, what is done? Farmer Oludare. Yeah.
So, what do we do? What's the way forward from here?
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful question. Except everybody wants to be self-deluded and self-deceived. We want to believe we do not know the solution altogether. The solution is to proscribe these guys out of our forest.
So government should do more about the headers?
No, not doing more about the elders. Tell the elders to leave the forest.
That's about doing more.
Maybe in your own language, but as a practical person, I'll tell the government, tell these guys to leave the forest. Proscribe them terrorists. Let them be dealt with. They are kidnapping people, killing people, taking ransom. I had to stop going to farm. So now I'm working with pockets of plots. Why for that? Because nobody wants to be kidnapped.
But there must be a solution.
The solution is just that. Let them take them. Another solution should be probably let us end open grazing system. If you know you want to go into cattle rearing business, go and get a plot of land for ranch. We have people, individual persons presently who are into ranching. We have association of cattle breeders in Ondo State that are done by Yorubas. Some of them have their cattle presently as we speak, and it's not roaming. There are many other countries that have cattle more than human beings in Africa country.
I even know of Brazil and what they do.
And they are not destroying things. I think this is more than just rearing cattle. It's just about a specific agenda.
The last 25 minutes I thought about speaking with Mr. Oluda Rejowu, our farmer, and together taking a look at agriculture and food security in Nigeria. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for bringing me
It's a
here.
pleasure having you. That's going to be on the show today. Join us on Friday for another one. Kunle Ariyo is my name. Good morning.